Dave Palumbo here with an RX Muscle news update. This just in, as you might have heard, Guy Cisternino was in the hospital, our good friend, with a blood clot in his leg. I thought, what better way to find out exactly what happened rather than to speculate than let's just get him here ourselves today. So, Guy, welcome to the show.
What's going on, Dave?
So what happened? You seem to have the worst luck. You even said it to me. You have the worst luck of any bodybuilder out there when it comes to medical conditions over the last couple of years. What's going on?
I don't know. I don't know what I did and who I did it to, but I did something to somebody along the line of life. And,
you just do everything to the extreme. So if you're going to get sick, they think we might as well nail you with something really good, you know? Exactly.
So yeah, and it was weird. So I had COVID back in the middle of March, and that lasted through April.
So you actually got the COVID virus. Now, did you figure out how you got that or who gave it to you? Are they still alive?
I really don't know. I mean, okay. I met up with my old training partner, Rich, and him and his wife ended up getting it. But I met up with him in the beginning of March. But I don't know who. He's the only person that I know that I was around that had it. So it could have been him, yes, but I don't really know for sure.
So you had you had one of the early cases of it.
Yeah, so my birthday is March 21st. So this happened about a week and a half before my birthday.
Oh, wow.
I went to the doctor originally, and they were like, "Oh, you have bronchitis," and I was like, "Okay." So they gave me an inhaler. And
I'm shocked at that point they knew about COVID, that they were actually
they did, because I had to pull on the side of the building where the doctors were. I had to put on a mask. I had to call. And then they would meet you at the door, put a mask on. So, like, they knew about COVID.
Right. But so wouldn't they think that, all right, you know what, the guy's got a respiratory tract infection. It's most likely probably going to be COVID at this point.
This is going to sound really bad, but in the past couple days, well, since this COVID thing happened and since I got sick, and people might take offense to this, I never realized how many stupid doctors there are. Like, just absolutely stupid motherfuckers. Like, dumb.
I don't think anyone knows about the virus. I think they're just guessing.
Not even that. Just about even the blood clot. Some of the stuff that I was told, it's just insane.
All right, let's do the COVID thing. Then we'll get to the blood clot.
Yeah. So about a week after I went to the doctor for bronchitis, I lost my smell and my taste. Gone. And then like a couple of days later, my buddy called. He's like, "Hey," he goes, "You've been watching the news?" And I'm like, "Nah, what's up?" He goes, "They just started saying that a new sign of COVID is loss of taste and smell."
Oh, so you actually had that symptom, huh?
Yeah, I was like, oh, forget this. So then I end up, I went to the place that was doing testing. They rammed that Q-tip up your nose. They called me back 5 days later, and it came back inconclusive. So they were like, we need you to come back in. They're like, you're the first person out of this office that come back inconclusive. So then I had to go back. They test me again. So by the time I finally got the test read and back, it said negative. But the doctor was like, you absolutely had it. She goes, as soon as the antibody test comes out, she's like, we need you to come in, because she's like, you're one of the cases that it's like, we think it's giving you false negatives. Antibody test came, tested positive, right, like within less than 24 hours. They called me back. They're like, you had it. So I thought I was in the clear. My lungs still aren't 100%, and my smell and taste are still not there.
Right.
Very faint.
Which sucks for a bodybuilder who's got to eat a lot of food. If you can't smell and taste anything, it kind of makes it kind of hard to just swallow stuff,
Yeah, it's. I mean, I'm drinking like flavored stuff, and I don't even know why. I can't fucking taste it. It doesn't even matter.
Now, is it supposed to come back to the taste?
Yes, but they say it comes back very, very slowly, very faint.
So it definitely affects the nerves.
Absolutely, I can't smell. I mean, you could literally put a turd under my nose. That's how bad it was. I couldn't smell it. Like pneumonia. I couldn't smell at all.
How was your ability to breathe though? Were you bad?
My lungs still are not good. You could probably hear it now, but I'm not. My lungs are still not back. The only way I could describe it is if you laid on the ground and somebody put a 45-pound plate on your chest and says you got to breathe like that.
Wow. So I'm glad you're saying this, because a lot of people are out there.
That's why I get so fucking
flippantly saying, it's not a big deal. It's bullshit. It's not even a real virus.
They're fucking idiots. They're idiots.
Now you go from this, great, looking awesome, getting ready for the contest season. And now next thing you know, you're in a hospital bed, and your life turns around all of a sudden. Now, are you nervous that you're going to have residual problems for the rest of your life because of this stupid virus?
Dude, honestly, I'll probably be the only case that has like awful side effects like every year for the next fucking.
Well, but they're saying this. They think it might not leave the body. Now, have you gotten tested to see if you have immunity against it?
The antibody I have.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But are you still testing positive for it in terms of the
when they,
I know some people have the antibody, but they're actually still testing positive for the actual virus.
So they told me they stopped doing that because the test for the COVID and antibody together were giving a lot of negative readings for the COVID test. So now they're only doing antibody. They're not giving out readings for the actual COVID test. You got to do it separately.
Gotcha. So now what happens with what's the symptoms of this leg problem that you had?
So like it was literally 3 weeks ago. It'd actually be 3 weeks this Thursday. So I was in the gym training back and got done training, came home, got out of my truck.
Right.
And I remember as soon as I stepped out of my truck, it felt like I got like a horrible Charlie horse in my calf. And I was like, fuck. So like I text my physical therapist, Dr. Vincent. I'm like, and Dr. Jeremy, I'm like, hey, I got to come in tomorrow. I said, I think I pulled my calf pretty bad. So I went in, they did a bunch of work on it, and it actually did feel substantially better.
Thank God they didn't dislodge the clot that was.
Well, it gets better. Just wait. So they worked. I got it worked on, and then about 4 days later, I was in the gym again, finishing my leg workout, and I was done. And I was filming something for a sponsor, and I did something, and I took like a hard step. And it felt like somebody shot me in the fucking calf. And I went down and pulled the guy with, I'm like, dude, Tom, I think I fucking just tore my calf. And he's like, no way. I go, dude, I've never felt anything like that before. So that was on a Thursday because we were training leg or quads. So Friday, I went to the physical therapist again. You ever hear the shockwave gun? Shockwave treatment?
No, what is it? Is it like that one of those massage guns?
No, it's like a fucking $50,000 machine, and it's almost like a jack. It almost feels like a jackhammer mixed with like electromagnetic. So he was like, "We're going to use the shockwave because they usually use it on my shoulders."
Right.
And he was putting it on my cat, Dave. I almost told him. At one point, I'm like, "Dude, I go, if you don't chill out, I'm going to fucking swing." I go, "That's how bad it hurt. It hurt so fucking bad." And I'm like, I'm usually not like that big of a pussy when it comes to like getting and shit, but this was like unbearable. So Saturday came around, I was training the arms on Saturday, and I kept looking at my leg, and I'm like, man, this looks awfully red for no reason. And then Sunday, Monday came, and it didn't get any better, and the redness got worse.
Thank God you waited a long time to go get this thing checked out.
The clot wasn't even in my head at the beginning.
I know, but usually you're a hypochondriac. You're at the doctor or the hospital.
I did. I went to the doctor the next day. I thought I fucking tore it.
Yeah.
I picked the wrong doctor to go to.
The wrong doctor, exactly.
So then on Tuesday I was training, and I'm in the gym. I told me my training partner, we're talking. I'm like, Tom, I think I either have a blood clot, I said, or I have cellulitis. This is too hot, too red, too painful. And too swollen to be anything to do with my muscle.
Right.
And so I texted my physical therapist, the guy that had been helping me the whole time. And I said, Doc, I said, I think I got something wrong with my calf. I said, I don't think it's muscle. He goes, send me a picture. So I go, I'll do it when I get home. So I got home from the gym, took a picture. It was like 7:30, 8 o'clock. He calls me. He's like, hey, bud. He's like, you got to go to the ER. And I was like, fucking kidding me.
It's always at night, too. You wind up having to go through these things, right?
I'm like, I go, you don't even think it's possibly like cellulitis? I'm like, you don't think I could wait till the morning, go to my PCP, and then just like be done? And he was like, I wouldn't risk it. He goes, and this has been going on for almost 3 weeks. He's like, I would not wait any longer. So so I went there. I just a quick side story of how ridiculous my life is. I'm waiting to be seen by the doctor for a blood clot. The people next to me how they have like two people in a room that have the curtain.
Right.
I haven't been seen yet. I've been there for now 2.5 hours. Nobody's seen me. I have a blood clot. I'm thinking blood clot, you could die. It might be substantially important. Yeah. I hear the doctor going, sir, you're complaining about your right ankle being the one that you hurt, but you're icing the left. So I'm a little confused as to what's going on here. I'm trying to like help you out, but you got to tell me what's going on for fucking 30 minutes. I'm listening to this doctor try to tell the guy what ankle he hurt.
Oh my God.
I'm like, this is insanity.
Yeah.
So they did an ultrasound.
Yeah.
And around 1 o'clock in the morning. Jeez. And then at about 2:30, he came back and he goes, you have a blood, is it perennial?
Yeah. Perennial artery or vein?
Perennial vein in your calf. So he goes, listen, and this is where it gets like sticky because he said, They only gave me 325 of aspirin twice a day.
Yeah, I was surprised that's all they gave you.
So
Why was that?
Well, that changed today, and I'll tell you why. So he just wanted me to take aspirin. He goes, you're healthy. You've never had a blood clot. You don't have a history of blood clots. He's like, you don't have any medical conditions. He was like, there's no reason.
Medical, you just got over COVID. Didn't you tell him that?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
So he goes, I'm just going to give you, he goes, just 325 aspirin twice a day. He goes, you got to go to a hematologist and get worked up, and they can do another ultrasound to make sure that the blood clot is going down or getting better.
Gotcha.
So I went to my primary care doctor today, which is when you texted me, and I was like, I'm not the doctor. So he said the problem with my case is that I'm he was like, you're like almost overly healthy. Like you're the health guy that does cardio and work out every day, where like nobody really does that in the world because everybody's fucking lazy. So he was like, you normally on a scale of blood clots would be considered low risk. He goes, but the problem is that the origin of where you got the blood clot is most likely COVID, which makes you a high risk. So he goes, so it's a very weird line of what to do and what not to do. So he put me on, at least until I see my hematologist, he put me on Xarelto, 30 milligrams a day, and told me not to take the aspirin. He was like, you're better to be safe at this point than sorry. So I'm like, okay. And then I was like, am I allowed to work out?
Yeah.
And he's like,
which is not going to stop you from working out anyway, but yeah, go ahead.
But he said, he goes, based on where it is, the likelihood of it traveling to your lung and causing a pulmonary embolism, or traveling to your heart, he was like, it's not really likely because he was usually able to.
Did you tell him what you already did to it? Like we had a jackhammer on it already?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. And he goes, you're lucky that didn't break off. Could you imagine I fucking stroked out on a fucking table because I'm getting physical therapy?
Well, if you didn't get with the jackhammer on it, it's unlikely that it's going to release itself now. Probably.
Unless they like loosened it up.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
now you shrink it just a little bit with the drugs you're taking, and it just pops off.
Unbelievable.
Oh my god.
But, he said I'm allowed to stop. He said I'm allowed to train.
Yeah.
Just no lower body. And he said if I'm able to do an exercise sitting down, he prefers me to not be putting so much weight on my calf.
Gotcha.
So,
well, I guess that's good news. At least, you still can work out. Just don't go too crazy. That's all. Now, how long does it usually take for them to dissolve one of these things? Did he tell you?
Well, I thought they could like do something to like blast it, or like maybe even like do like a procedure where they can, but I guess because the risk to reward, meaning like if they go in and God forbid they're trying to clean it out and part of it breaks, then you can go, create a mountain from a molehill. So he said about 3 to 4 weeks.
Oh, okay.
But I have to go to a hematologist every week
to
get ultrasound to make sure it's not getting worse and it's getting better. But the problem is how it feels is what drives me nuts.
Well, what about the fact that can it happen again? Why did it happen to begin with? Because I mean, obviously, if COVID is making you vulnerable,
COVID is a clotting disease.
But you don't have it anymore, supposedly.
I know. So, but
that's the scary part.
What I've been told from 3 different doctors is that the residual side effect of clotting is affecting so many people that people coming in hospitals for clots and seizures are through the fucking roof.
So then how long is that supposed to last?
I have no fucking clue, man. Out of all the bodybuilders in the IFBB, I don't know one other motherfucker, guy or girl, that got COVID.
I do, but
oh, you do?
Yeah, I don't think they have any side effects like you do, though. They got over it pretty well, thank God. That's the scary part. I don't mind getting a virus, because I don't think that that's going to kill me, but I don't want the residual effects that come with it because lung and
my lungs are not back to normal. I still fucking can't. I can't smell or taste 95%. I maybe 5%. I can faintly smell, faintly taste.
Yeah.
And now my fucking my blood clot. It's like, what else is there?
You look like a lunatic too, with the hair.
Somebody called me John Rambo.
Yeah. I swear to God, I was just gonna say, last night I watched the movie Last Blood. For Rambo Last Blood. It's the last movie. It's like him as an old man, and he goes after this guy and cuts his heart. There he got the crossbow. I think we should send you into China to get a little retribution against these Chinese people for releasing this virus on us.
I'll probably start with the people that fucking kidnap and eat and kill the dogs. I'll probably, to me, honestly, that's a little more important. Then I'll go to everybody.
We're going to send Guy Cisternino in there. You know what? I can relate. You don't want to go get a haircut. I've been gelling the hair I have back and just like it's glued to my head now because I got so much hair.
I had it. I texted my barber. I said, "Yo," I said, "Are you cutting?" I was like, the amount of times I just trimmed.
Go to Steve Silverman. He's doing it in his house, right in Jersey, where you are.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a bodybuilder too. Yeah,
yeah.
He's a funny. You'll laugh your ass off.
Oh, I know Steve because isn't his nickname the Ram?
Yeah, the Ram. Yeah,
he's a good kid.
Yeah, go to his house. Go get a trim from him. That'll be some story. Think about that. Put that on your Instagram. Your fans will love that.
He's crazy, Steve. He's a lunatic.
Well, Guy, I'm glad you're feeling all right. Because a lot of people were worried about you, and I'm glad you put this information out there because maybe some people will watch this and put a mask on when they go out in public, like to the supermarket and stuff. Because getting this virus is no fucking joke. Because you can get over it in a couple of weeks, but the residual effects could last for months or maybe longer. We don't even know. It hasn't been around that long.
I made the post about people. Like, there's a couple people I saw, like pros, and they were like, "Oh, they wanted me to wear a mask going to this place. Fuck that! I'm not wearing that stupid thing." And I'm like,
"Yeah,
no, like I'm not trying to be a pussy, but like I can empathize why older people die because if my lungs took a hit the way it took a hit, and I'm 38 years old, and I do cardio every fucking day,
you're in great shape.
Like, I can only imagine what it would do to somebody like if they were in their like my parents were 65 years old.
No, I know.
Like, it's like I don't wear a mask because I think it's actually going to help because I really don't think it's going to help.
Well, Jerry Branham says it's not. You're wearing the mask in case
to calm the masses.
No, the mask is so that if you have it, you're not going to give it to other people.
Yes,
that's what it's for.
Yeah.
It's not to prevent you from getting it from the other people. It's to prevent them from giving it to you because so they're not breathing it in your face.
Yeah, but I also think that there's I think it helps prevent it to an extent, but I don't think wearing a mask is going to completely liberate you from
no one's wearing the right kind of mask. That's the problem.
I think in my opinion, the mask is more to make people at ease when they're in public right now. I think
plus it reminds you not to touch your face too.
Yeah.
That's how people get it. You touch a doorknob, you touch your face, your eyes, your mouth, and then you spread it to yourself. It's like you're inoculating yourself with it. So
all the stuff we were told not to do. Don't put
exactly.
your fingers,
Right. But people don't. People do it all the time. I watch people in the gym. They touch disgusting equipment and they're rubbing their eyes with it.
Yeah.
So all right. Well, Guy, keep us updated. Once again, we don't want to see anything bad happen to any more people. We just lost another bodybuilder, Bev DiRenzo, yesterday.
I saw that was from.
We don't know what the cause of death is. She's obviously lives around where I live here because she used to be friends with Amanda. I did her diet when she turned pro, and it's very sad. Another very sad story. Too many sad stories over the last couple of weeks.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So sad.
All right, my friend.
Right.
Don't let up, Guy.
Listen. I go balls to the wall, Dave.
I think you need these things, these obstacles to overcome because it just keeps you tough. I think if it was too easy for you, you might become soft. So you need these challenges constantly in your life.
I'll take a little soft at this point.
I know. All right. Thanks, Guy.
All right, guys. Stay safe, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. I'm Dave Palumbo with another RX Muscle news update.